Alright, let's get back to some main story quest. We've been doing so well, moving right along. We are, I think, I don't know, 27, 28, maybe somewhere in there. So, let's just keep rolling. This one should be skeletons in her closet. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Dartancors. During that time I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amadine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart benefiting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came. These masked men, but my lady, believed they would help her to regain that which she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was that I left Hauck Manor, my home, for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amadine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Hauck Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now, go and do what must be done. And before we do that, let's turn on Carbuncle, because I always forget. Seek entry into the manor. Great. Alright. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright. Alright. I think this one had like multiple ways to go, if I'm remembering right. So we're gonna try. I feel like we passed a door, so let's go back and see where this takes us. Let's pick up a tiny key. Tiny key for that locked door? We're going to assume so. Hmm. But there were doors back here. Alright, I guess we have no choice. Do you think the green key is for this ivy door then? I don't. I feel like we have to go upstairs, but let's see what happens. Downstairs, huh? Couple more keys. Oh, back to the Carnation door. So we're back to where we came in, and I think I can't open this? Oh, I can. Okay. I guess maybe up this time? Maybe over this way first? Oh, and there's a behind. Okay, there's nothing there. And that it's empty means we have to have come this way, right? Maybe? I'm gonna go with yes. Let's go up. Well, all right then. Darkness has taken root within these halls, sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Hydaelyn chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength for Master La Habrea. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. Not such a creepy looking place in the light. Oh, Lancer's Guild, alright. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Almadine? You must tell me all. So she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore, through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Infelia. Alright, let's use one of our... Welcome back, Misty. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn in the Twelfth's Wood? Two of La Hebrea's minions? And they sought to measure your strength by their own admission? The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then, the Asians have begun to move in earnest, but that we knew to what end. Yet, I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat, unaided. We must needs alert the three nations to the presence of this elusive enemy and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Asians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet, come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you are ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Will contain a weapon of item level 28 through 30, and what is ours now? Item level 26. Alright, let's open this one. Yeah. Bummer. Why are we not using that one? Oh, I see. All right. Alright, I think this one should be called Wrath of the Titan.
The Maelstrom requests our assistance.
Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume?
Yes. And no. It has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Lominsan has reawakened Titan. Our task will be to slay the Primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlwyb hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The Echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
So you will accept? Thank you.
We can't very well send her to Lominsa without Y'shtola. Can we, Minfilia?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable. Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and all not afield will aid the fight from afar. Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies, tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward. Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Your deeds bring glory to the Maelstrom, Private Shores. Right proud am I to call you one of our own. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address Misty personally. We are no strangers to conflict. Long have the Sahagin and the kobolds plagued our people. Nor is this the first time we have had to address a primal threat. In the past, when Titan rose to threaten the peace, it was to the company of heroes we turned. But they are long disbanded, and we must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So it is that we turn now to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Limsa's best hope. I hope you are right. Yet the situation is far from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the Thessalocraty make a pact with the beastmen that each would keep to their own lands and that no blood would be shed? And was it not the Lominsans who violated this agreement? Dissatisfied with their lot, shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. I would advise you to choose your words with greater care, Lady Y'shtola. Stand down, High Commander. She has the right of it. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it, yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from Titan's wrath. Or would you have us fall upon our swords? My apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Limsa Lominsa's citizenry are, of course, of paramount concern. Already, we have observed disruptions in the flow of aether further inland. The effects will be felt here in the city ere long. I ask much of you, I know, but the need is great. I trust I can count on you, Private. You have my thanks, along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. That the kobolds should summon Titan demonstrates they are no longer amiable to negotiation. This being the case, we must needs prepare for conflict. Before we meet Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can of our foe, and I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. The company of heroes may be no more, but several of its former members still live. It is said that one of them is employed at the Grey Fleet Mills in Lower Lanasay. Quite why a mercenary should choose to become a miller, I do not know. When you find him, mayhap you could ask him for me. I, meanwhile, shall seek his fellows. Oh, okay, let's just use the gate then. Have a little jaunt across the world. And I figured these windmills would be where we were going. Oh, they are. Okay. Lay down your burden, son. Come drain a pint with me. We'll have a grand old time. Find ye a lass or three. You gonna say something, Venturer, or just keep staring? Eh? You want to know about the Company of Heroes? Ah, hells. Price of bleeding fame. Can't a miller mill in peace no more? Still, seeing as you've come all this way, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to oblige you. Consider yourself lucky, lass. Old Tractome was the company's best axeman. Now, what was it you wanted to know? Alright, this should be Tales from the Tidus Slayer. Gahahaha! So you want to hear the tale of how the Company of Heroes bested a primal, do you? Let me guess, you mean that bastard Tidus, aye? Oh, if only you'd been there to see it. 'Twas a mighty struggle, like the legends of old. Me and the boys fought him for 3 days and nights, we did. The ground trembled with every step Tidus took, and when he hit you, girl, it felt like a cannonball to the gut. Ugh! Just like that. Oi? What's that look for? I'm a goddamn hero, I'll have you know. The people around here sing me praises. Don't tell me you only care about learning the secret tactics we used to beat old Tidus. Well, too bad, 'cause now I'm not feeling charitable. If you're so damn desperate, then why don't you do me a favor and kill those rats that have made a nest by the windmill just south of here? Aye, do that, then we'll talk. Well, I feel like you don't know anything about Titan, even his name, but, well, we'll go along. So the beasties are dead, are they? Nice work, Venturer. Saved me the hassle of... never mind. Alright, this should be hungry Goobbues. What? You're still asking about how we beat Tidus? I don't know, Venturer. It was a pretty risky strategy, the kind only a veteran of 10 score battles could rely upon. I want to teach you, I truly do, but unless you prove you have what it takes to face that fat bastard, I can't in good conscience tell you a damn thing. At the very least, you'd need to be capable of slaying, say, a Goobbu. Come to think of it, that ain't a bad idea. Them creatures have a taste for the flour milled here, so you ought to have no trouble finding one in the vicinity. Of course, I ain't asking you to cut one down quick as a skilled axeman like myself. Any road, why don't you try heading due west and standing lookout, case a Goobbu comes calling. Slay it, and I might consider telling you more about old Tidus. Yeah, you definitely just want me to do your chores for you. You again? Then that Goobbu that was harassing the millers is dead? Didn't think you had it in you, Venturer. Still, you took forever and a day to get the job done. I'm still not sure if I should tell you our secrets. Alright, this one should be the Lominsan Way. So, as I was saying, I still don't know if you got what it takes to face Tidus. Maybe if you slew a... Tratchtome? You in here drinking again? If you are, that Goobbu had better be dead. Oh, it's dead, Chief. You have my word on that. Cleaved the beast's skull in two with me trusty axe, I did. Is that a fact? And what will your friend here say if I ask her? She'll vouch for me, of course. Ain't that right, friend? Tell me true. Was it Tratchtome who slew the Goobbu, or was it you? Chief, oh, what are you saying? It's me, Tratchtome, the finest axeman ever to serve the company of heroes, the legendary mercenaries who slew that bastard Tidus. Tidus? Tidus? Who in the seven hells is Tidus? Some primal you fought in a drink-sodden dream? The company of heroes slew Titan, you bloody half-wit. See, Tidus was what me and the lads used to call him. That's the biggest load of Sahagin shite I've ever heard. Both of you, outside. We'll learn the truth the Lominsan way. Tractome, if you didn't slay that Goobbu, you may consider your contract revoked. Alright, you know the rules. First one to smash their boulder will be judged. And don't even think about trying to kill me. That's cheating. Who picked these boulders? They're nothing alike. Ah, hells. Alright. I admit it. I lied about being in the company of heroes. But I'm begging you, Chief, please don't dismiss me. I've learned me lesson. Honest, I have. Save your blubbering, Tractome. Gods, I should have known. Mercy, please. I didn't want to deceive you. I swear. It's just that I kept getting turned away by all the folk I asked for work, and I panicked. See, the last job I had was at Costa del Sol, and there was this grizzled old marauder everyone treated like royalty. When I heard he was a captain in the company of heroes, I finally understood why. I was being serious when I said I was one of them, but you went and believed me, Look, his name was Weiskett, alright? Weiskett. He'll tell you how to defeat Tidus, or whatever the hell that thing's name is. That's what you wanted, ain't it? So come on then. Tell the chief to forgive me. It's only fair. Pardon? You wish to slay the Lord of Crags? We must slay him, Captain. The people of Lominsa are depending upon us. You fancy yourselves heroes, then, just like in the tales? Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate here has bathed in Ifrit's hellfire and lived. She is blessed with a power that protects her from primal influence. Thus was she able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno. We know full well the risks, and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray, be so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A woman who can't be tempered. Useful, but it will not be enough. It is true that the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was bought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. We defeated him in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed. Believe what you will, we mean to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserved better than the greeting I gave you. But I will not send you into Oklahoma on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances that you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Garuju's estates. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by attending to one of our... Ye gods, man, have you heard nothing I have said? We have not the time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, then you are welcome to find your own way into Ogahomoro. Though it pains me to admit it, I fear we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet, much remains to be done if we are to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use the time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well. Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Lominsa hangs in the balance. Master Garuju's requests can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you to your true task, I would like to verify that this won't be a waste of my time. A Nix has recently been seen prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want large, slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring it out with herring. Slay the Nix and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. Well, did you deal with the Nix? Lest you think me overly cautious for testing you in this way, you should know that we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed to have served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyway, now that the pointless busywork is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befits your talents. Alright, this should be a modest proposal. Two highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Guruju wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Guruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, and so, Misty, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. Naturally, such fine dining must be accompanied with a suitable wine, and by suitable I mean the very best there is. That, however, can wait for the time being, as I believe you have enough on your plate as is. It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Landonell at Camp Tranquil. What? Do you mean to tell me that you cannot afford to waste time as your associate did? Adventurer, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. Oh, I haven't been to Camp Tranquil. Alright. I have been to Quarry Mill and Bent Branch. Hawthorne Hut, Bent Branch. I guess we'll go to Bent Branch because it's a little less expensive. Why didn't I go to Camp Tranquil? Or rather, Quarry Mill. Oh well, I'm here now. All right. Do you require assistance, adventurer? So this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you, Misty. The ingredient you seek is the egg of a giant adamantoise. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest, of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Most who try die in the attempt. Will I help you get it? Ha! You amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position by openly assisting you. From me, you will receive only information. What you do with it is your choice. Alright, this should be trial by turtle. Let me be clear. This business between you, me, and the captain must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time spent with the company in the slightest. Traveling the world, meeting interesting people, killing them, was all jolly good fun. Alas, Gridanians are, by and large, an unforgiving lot. Datto here being a rare exception. I've had to go to great lengths to ensure that I am seen as a model citizen, with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities I so dearly miss. So understand that if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails and hang you from the nearest heavens pillar. Well, what are you waiting for? There's a perfectly good adamantoise egg in a nest to the east of here, just ripe for the taking. Not that I expect you to live long enough to claim it. The mother never strays far from the child, and you will surely be attacked the moment you lay hands upon the egg. There will be other heroes, Misty. You do not need to challenge Titan. Abandon your quest, or your corpse will rot in this swamp. I thought you might have the good sense to leave this place. By your continued presence, I take it you intend to persevere to the bitter end. Ahaha, such bravery, such recklessness. That will serve you well against Titan. Leave the egg with me. I'll see that it gets to the captain. You should make haste to southern Thanalan. In Forgotten Springs, you will find a man named Uod Nuhun. He will be your next guide. Safe travels, Misty. Not really worth it, but let's do it because we're here. Okay. State your business, adventurer. So this is the one Wiskett sends me. I haven't the foggiest what he sees in you, and until I do, you will receive no aid from me. Alright, this should be the perfect prey. Persistent bugger. Very well, let's have a look at you. You've seen your share of battles, there's no mistaking that, and you did manage to obtain that Adamoin Toy's egg. However, that was not more than a display of brute force and blind courage. The nun I once fought also believed that his strength would save him. He was wrong, and now I am none. Many years ago I joined the company of heroes to hone my skills, instead of challenging my predecessor before I was ready. Even when I was young, I understood that victory goes to the patient, the cunning, and the pragmatic. That is why I claimed my position, and it is why I still hold it, and it is why I will not help an unproven whelp. The children of the sands do not offer aid to strangers. To do so is a sign of weakness. However, if you were recognized as a skilled hunter in your own right, it would be permissible to assist you. Across the desert to the east lies the Namalja encampment. There dwells a warrior renowned both for his strength and his guile. To even face this Amalja in battle, you must first find a way to lure him away from the encampment. This will be your test, to draw out and defeat the veteran. For this, I will offer you no advice, only this worn spear. Why, you ask? You will have to solve that riddle for yourself. Now go, slay this old warrior, and bring to me his necklace. Tell me, adventurer, is our old nemesis dead? "'Tis a fine necklace, as befits a veteran of countless battles. It will make an excellent trophy. The spear? It belonged to one of his brothers. I knew when he spied it from afar, he would be unable to resist venturing outside the encampment to see for himself. Did you discern my intent, or was it dumb luck, I wonder? Either way, you impress me, adventurer. I shall tell you of the ingredient you seek." It's the same thing I already got. Alright, this should be When the Worm Turns. A shame we did not meet when I was still with the company of heroes. You would have made a fine recruit. But no point dwelling on what cannot be. You have a Welwick worm to hunt. Sandworms slither brazenly across the desert dunes, but Welwick worms are far fewer in number. Rarity breeds demand, and so their meat is highly prized as a delicacy. The only way to catch your quarry is to entice it with something it cannot resist. These worms prey on the smaller creatures of the Sagali. A freshly slaughtered angler carcass would be my choice of bait. There's an area teeming with anglers to the east. I will mark it upon your map, along with the location where Welwick worms are most frequently sighted. Be warned, the blood will drive the worm into a feeding frenzy. If your skills are lacking, it will devour you as well. You look well. Have you caught your quarry, then? Your skills as a hunter rival those of our best. I applaud your success, Misty. The meat will need to be heavily smoked before I ship it to Whiskeyet. Worry not, you have my word that he will receive it in time for the banquet. You must be eager to obtain the third ingredient. I regret to say that I know not of its location. For the nonce, you should return to Costa del Sol and seek Whisket's counsel. Ah, but hold on a moment. Since you will be meeting the captain again soon, there is something I would like you to deliver to him for me. Alright, this should be there and back again. The captain was always fond of his brandy wine. I would be grateful if you could deliver it on my behalf. I was a reckless, angry youth when I first joined the company, and he would have been well within his rights to cast me out. Everything I have I owe to his wisdom and generosity. I, Whiskat, was a firm yet fair teacher, an expert molder of men, and I suspect that is still the case now. Please give him my regards, Misty. Alright, he was in Costa del Sol, so let's go there. Well met, Misty. Landonell and Wodonen both spoke highly of you. What brings you here today? Ah, my favorite. I shall have to thank the nun personally. Now, you have but one ingredient left. Fortunately, you will not have to travel to Aldenard this time to obtain it. Well, that looks like a downgrade, so we're going to skip that one. Alright, this should be the things we do for cheese. Truth be told, I never intended for you to collect this last ingredient. Brayflox, my old quartermaster, wished to bring it to Costa del Sol herself. However, not long ago she sent word that there's been some trouble at the long stop and that the delivery would be delayed indefinitely. She told me nothing of the incident itself, but I fear the situation may be dire. Though I would like nothing more than to aid her myself, I have no choice but to turn to you and your allies. Make haste to Hidden Falls Dock and speak with Ozun Nazun. He will direct you to Raincatcher Gully, where Brayflox and her people have made their home. Alright. What's the hurry, Venturer? Something happened over at the Goobbues settlement? I don't know why you're so eager to help a bunch of beastmen, but go and talk to the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry you to Raincatcher Gully. We're going to Raincatcher Gully. Are you coming along? Push, tongue flaps of whisket be reaching ears of bray flocks. Uplanders come for tasty fresh goby treats, yes? Quest prize of Uplander deep in Longstop. Flighty beast chased goby flock from homes. Goby flock needs goodly Uplander gives safety to Longstop with much hand lending. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Maybe I did want this after all, No, I think it's this way. Okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Cool. Alright, let's see what we got now. Okay, this one's a waste. But so be it. How about this one? Also looks like a waste. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. On this way, then. Woohoo! Alright. Okay, we can live with this one. Yeah, not bad. Goodly Uplander has thanks of Gobbyflocks. Fighty Beast was tricksy foe, but Uplander outwitted with plans making. Uplander has goodly head for fighty think. Brayflox happy gives tasty fresh gobby treats to clever Uplander. Cheese is stinky sweet, gobby treat, special make with secret gobby earts. No party complete without gobby gouda, Brayflax ever say. Alright, let's take our stinky cheese back. I gather you solved Brayflox's little problem. By the gods, that unholy stench, this is, definitely goblin cheese. Judging from the smell, this should be quite flavorful. How is it made? It's best you remain ignorant of such things. I still remember when I learned what kind of milk they use. Downgrade, so we won't take those. Alright, this should be... what do you mean you forgot the wine? Bravo, Misty. Thanks to you, our guests shall be honored with a marvelous banquet. But what good is an exotic feast without an equally exotic aperitif? Luckily, I know just the person to ask. Make your way to Wineport and seek out Shamani Lomani, another former crew member of the company. All you have to do is give him this order slip. He'll take care of the rest. Oh, and if you're wondering if this is merely a ploy to test your patience, I assure you I do actually need that wine. And while you're there, give Shamani Lamani my regards. Alright, have I been to No, of course I haven't been to Wineport. Let's see what's close. Wonder if that ferry will take me over there. Okay, yay. The good news is this is where we wanted to be. There we are. Okay. Wine port. And Chocobo 2. Sweet grime and blood. Aye, you reek of blood. An adventurer, unless I am mistaken. What brings you to Wineport? An order? Let me guess. A request for the finest vintage I can muster. The paper smells of Loman perfume, Costa del Sol, and there is also the unmistakable odor of goblin cheese. Yes, Master Guruju would not settle for anything less than the best. Durstwitz and his crew must be quite busy preparing an exotic feast, hence his decision to rely on an adventurer. Ah, but perhaps you are confused. This display of deduction was not intended to impress you. When one loses his vision, he is forced to compensate in other ways. But you've no interest in my affairs. You wish only to discuss the wine, I suspect. Alright, this should be an offer you can refuse. Life can be so delightfully unpredictable. I always had a passion for wine, but it wasn't until I was forced to retire that I could pursue it as more than a mere hobby. It wouldn't have been possible if not for the savings I amassed during my time as a mercenary, of course. Say what you will about the nature of that work, none can deny that it pays well. Ah, but you grow impatient, and Wisket must have his wine. Herein lies the problem. Nothing in my possession is of sufficient quality for this occasion. The best vintages in town are hoarded by Braglant, who owns and operates the largest winery in Vilbrand. Somehow I doubt he will be receptive to your request, but given these circumstances, we must needs beg his assistance. What rank amateur bottled this wine? The impurities have rendered it nigh undrinkable. Dismal is too good for the man responsible. Oh, dismissal is too good for the man responsible. He should be made to drink every drop of this polluted swill. What is it? I'm in the middle of an important discussion, and I do not care for interruptions. That neophyte Vinter bid you speak with me? Ha! Neither you nor your friend has the palate to appreciate the subtle qualities of my private stock. I would sooner serve you Goobbues than sell you my worst vintage. Be gone from my sight. Alright, I don't think he wants to sell it to me. What do you... I take it he said no. Really? In those words? Well, I cannot say that I'm surprised. While there's no denying his passion and skill, the wine baron of Lominsan is not a man known for his tact. Very well, we shall have to take an alternative approach. This should be it won't work. There's a chance, however small, that another resident of Wineport can furnish us with a suitable wine. In fact, had you come several years ago, I guarantee this would not be a problem. Alas, the quality of our product has declined significantly in recent years. The only breeds cultivated these days are common lowland vines, which isn't to say that their grapes are of poor quality, only that we have known better. Long ago, the vineruns of Wineport crossbred several species and produced grape-bearing vine that never before seen quality. Bacchus grapes were once the pride of this town, as they were used to produce vintages which surpassed all others. This includes the most aromatic, the most complex, the most flavorful of all wines. The legendary Bacchus wines were born right here in Wineport. Pardon my enthusiasm. You see, I once had the privilege to sample that particular wine. It was an otherworldly experience. In that moment, I felt as though I had tasted the nectar of the gods themselves. I transcended my mortal flesh and was one with all creation. But as is all too often said, the calamity changed that. The Bacchus vineyards were completely destroyed, along with much of the existing stock of Bacchus wines. What little remains is closely guarded by its owners, for it can no longer be made. If we cannot convince Berglant to part with his wines, our next best option, as ridiculous as it sounds, is to find someone who has a bottle of Bacchus wine and to offer them every gill we can spare. I've heard rumors that one of the vineruns tending the vineyards might have once owned a bottle. Perhaps you could start by speaking with them. Bacchus wine? Bah, don't remind me. Used to have a cellar filled with the stuff. Thought I could keep the wine safe from thieves and the elements. Never counted on a bloody primal blowing up my goddamn house. What? Do I have Bacchus wine? I wish. I never had the chance to try it myself. Sorry, friend, but you're a few years too late. No luck, Most regrettable, but we had to try. But Bacchus wine would have been perfect for the occasion. Though I must confess my certitude could be due in part to my personal history with the beverage. It is, after all, the very reason I decided to become a vintner. After Titan blinded me in our battle beneath Ogumoro, I fell into a deep depression. It wasn't until I tasted Bacchus wine for the first time that I realized there was still so much I could experience. Even in my condition, it helped me find a new direction in life. It breaks my heart to think that wondrous ambrosia, which once filled me with hope, may be forever lost to us. All right, we've been going nearly 3 hours, so I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. We will see you all again tomorrow. I want to thank you for coming out and watching, and invite you to come back. Yeah. Have a good night.